Hi, human growth and development students. I made it back into my Harry Potter office. I'm like so excited to be back. I missed Harry here and all my other stuff going on. Okay, so I want to give a news video for week 2, and I'm going to try to do that each week. They're going to start allowing more on campus and kind of trying to get back into normal routine, so to speak. So it's just easier for me to do it from my office. Because my upload at my house is horrific. I was explaining to my students in my spring semester that a 4-minute video took 32 minutes to upload. So I really like to be in my office to do the weekly news. So technically today is the last day of drop-in ads. So there still may be some students still working on their schedule. If you look at the schedule, and I really try to go by the schedule, it kind of gives you an idea of what chapters you need to be reading, and then also to what you probably care most about is the assignments and quizzes, and also discussion. I have uploaded that discussion question, and that discussion question is also my attendance check. We do attendance check. Some of you know this already. This is normal routine. I've had some of you before. I recognize the names. So just make sure you go in and respond to that question. Just do that question for now. I'll be posting more discussion questions. What I've also done, and what I decided this morning, was to go ahead and just open up the first critical thinking exercise. Just to go ahead and have it there for you. And you know, in fact, it actually kind of gives purpose to your reading. I think when you have questions and you have them there and you know what the questions are and you know you have to use the readings to support your responses, it kind of gives purpose to your reading. I think that's, you know, that's the way for me too. So I understand exactly what that's like. Make sure you just get the textbook. The textbook is actually a pretty well-written textbook. I think the author did a great job at really simplifying the theories and the concepts and the research. I know research can be difficult to understand at times, but she did a really great job at that. The first chapter really just kind of gives you an idea to human growth and some of the social constructs that we use in human growth, and most of all, why we study human growth and development. So really kind of focus on those words, those concepts. I mean, I went back through the chapter myself just so I know what you're reading. I feel like that's important, and so just pay attention to those concepts. The second chapter gets into a little bit of how we conduct research, but most important, the theories. There's a lot, out of all the subjects, as I teach abnormal psych 2, there's a lot of theories in human growth and development. And the thing about theories can be shown, or what we say proven falsifiable. Theories are working concepts. They're working hypotheses. It gives us a foundation and a framework to go out there and study human growth and development. So again, focus on those theories as well. In the Blackboard, I also have a video lecture series. I'm going to continue that. I'm going to try to work through the rest of the stages. I was planning on finishing them up after spring break this past spring, but I wasn't allowed again back on campus. I got all the way to middle and late childhood, and now that I can get into my office, I'm going to finish up adolescents, young, middle, and late adult. So I just have those 4 videos to do, and then I'll be done with the entire human development. And those videos are there for you to view as many times as you want. It just really kind of reinforces it. I've been teaching human growth and development for a long time. My specialty is, if you watch the video intro to the professor, my specialty is early childhood cognition. I specialize in fairy tales. I hope there's some fairy tale lovers out there. But it just kind of reinforces some of what you're reading, just kind of puts it in perspective. So please feel free to watch those videos as many times as you want, and I am going to try to finish up and have the entire human stage of development in that video lecture series. So in fact, I may kind of sneak back into my office next week and do the adolescent. So I'm going to try to knock out a couple of videos for that. So again, work on getting your textbook. That's very important. Go ahead and start reading the chapters. I have opened up the first critical thinking exercise, so print that, download it, and here. But again, remember on the critical thinking exercises, how would you describe it if somebody walked up and asked you those questions? If somebody walked up and said, why are you taking human growth and development? Why is that a course? Why are you studying it? How could you frame it in a way to help people understand, to understand their question? I'm inundated with questions on human development and the entire stages. A lot of students ask me about, childhood. My son is doing this, my daughter's doing that. I think my son's ADHD, and then I have questions on, their parents, questions on their grandparents, and I take into consideration, how they're asking me that question, and then how I'm going to give them back that information. And always keep this in mind too. Is it a biological question that they're asking? Is it a cognitive question on thinking? Is it a psychosocial question? Is it about emotions or personality development? So always keep that in mind, but use the research in your readings to support your responses. How would you put it in your own words? Many of you, I've already read some of your responses in the discussion questions. You're pre-professionals, and you're going to be inundated with these questions too as you progress through your college career and get into the workforce and get into your field. Some of you are in nursing, radiography, and we're going to have our physical therapy program coming up. So, you're going to be asked these questions. I have friends who are nurses, and I ask them, hey, what questions do you get asked about human development? And they get a lot. So again, just use your own responses and use the research to support your response. Research is your friend in this field. I never ever respond to people I think or I feel. I always use the research. I always respond, hey, a study just came out about kids and ADHD, or a study just came out about grandparents and dementia and depression. I always use the research to support my responses. And think about it that way too. It's a way to really practice. So, make sure you get your textbook. Go ahead and start reading the first few chapters. I will probably go ahead and open up the critical thinking exercises. I don't want you to feel like you need to rush in and do all of them. It's just the summer goes really fast. These semesters go fast, and I have no problem with you working ahead. In fact, maybe knock out the exercises. That way you even know where things are located in the chapter. Then when you go to take a quiz, you already know where things are located. You'll be able to go right there to find that response. So, just work on getting the textbook and start the reading. I'm here in the summer. I'm going to try to come in, like I said, and try to finish up the video lecture series. But I'm at my house. I'm there for you guys. I want you to be successful in this course. It's such a great course. I wish it was a required class. I think everybody who wants to have a child someday should take human growth and development. I think I probably mentioned that in my introduction to the professor. But again, I'm here for you guys. Let me know. Text me. And if you text me or call me, I know the situation right away, and we can get it resolved. So I'm here to help. All right, so do that this week. Okay, have a good week. Bye.